Hi all, welcome. Welcome to Managing Microsoft 365 Messaging Training Program. Hope you people can hear me and see my screen. So anyone can confirm in chat window. You people can hear me and see my screen. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. So let's get basically try to understand what kind of job opportunities available in Microsoft 365 Exchange or messaging environment. So typically, we look into yes, is recording. Thank you. So maybe you can go to website and look into uh, the Exchange administrator jobs. Normally now Exchange is now part of Microsoft 365, that is called Exchange Online, and we also have Exchange on-premises solution. We have two solutions, and in this particular course we are going to cover both as well. So you maybe look into job opportunities like Exchange Office 365 combination, or only Exchange administrator. But if you look at the really job profile, you can see the people have the multi skills like both on-prem section server as well as Office 365 related knowledge they'll typically look into. And if you want to more in detail, maybe you can go to the particular job opportunities which are there. For example, Microsoft Exchange Server Administrator in case of Wipro, and what exactly the people look into, what is the roles and responsibility they look into. Like administrator, you should be able to system administration and problem determination and 24/7 basis and problem change configuration. This may be a little bit high level. And you can see here, the skills required to the job will be test deployment, L1, Microsoft Exchange Server admin L2, and administrator, you should be able to system administration and those kind of activities as well. Maybe you can go to some other opportunities, maybe Mindtree, Exchange Server Administration. So I have 2 years experience, server is 2 year, Exchange will be 2 years experience and server will knowledge. So basically the Exchange server will be, typically sitting on top of Windows Server operating system is, and that's the reason we need to have a knowledge of even a server operating system, particularly Active Directory. This particular course assume that you people have the Active Directory knowledge and as well as Windows Server knowledge in terms of understanding this Exchange training program for you. And this is a training program explicitly designed for to the certification exam called MS203, that is preparing you for the messaging administrator here. That is the associate level exam it is. And I designed the basically what is the course objective. Based on that, I'll be covered that. And I hope you people already aware of that. What is the Microsoft 365 certification programs, and ultimately your goal should be enterprise administrator expert. To in order to become enterprise administrator expert, you need to be associate level first. So you need to be associate. In order to associate, we have a different programs are available. One is security administrator, developer, teams administrator, and a desktop administrators, those kind of things. And for the my recommend, not that this particular course, but as such, if you look at the job opportunities, two things like a Windows Server administration plus Exchange administration plus Office 365 administration. The person who have these skill set will be more sell well. And if you have a if you talk about plus, you might be have a knowledge in Azure and those kind of scenario as well. Depend on the kind of position you are basically looking for and what kind of experience you people having it. Based on that, you can choose right job and what level you are looking into. And typically this is you saw just now Wipro, they're talking about 6+ years experience and both on server knowledge as well as exchange knowledge, including Office 365, those kind of scenario. Hope you people already know already, all otherwise you people are working already in Office 365 environment. It will be already plus for you. Already Exchange Online you are working, then is a good for you. And once you are associate level, it could be any of the exam, but our course right now, this particular program you people attending is on messaging administrator. This is a training program we are there. And then once you have associate level, then Microsoft, in order to become the enterprise administrator expert, and we need to write two exams. One is MS 100, another is MS 101, and then you will be getting certification of the Microsoft 365 certified enterprise administrator expert. And in terms of this particular exam, what is the exam focusing areas? They will be tested you. You can look into skills measured, and you will be having the skills related to managing your entire organizational settings, and also the resources related, recipients mailboxes and all sorry basically resource mailboxes will be managing it. And also you need to also have a good planning and also managing the your mail architecture, how it will be doing it. So how it will be on premises exchange server will be architecture, and as well as exchange online architecture, and again plus hybrid, both exchange online and as well as exchange on-prem solution combined together, we call it as basically hybrid. And how you will be using those hybrid architecture, how do we doing it. So then the question will comes up, how to implement this hybrid configurations. And also once you maybe start with hybrid configurations, but you would like to configure your on-premises mailboxes reside in on-premise environment, you would like to perform migration from your on-premises mailbox to and exchange online mailboxes. So initially the mailboxes are here, and once you perform migration, then the mailbox are moved from here to your exchange online in the Microsoft 365 cloud there. So we'll be tested on that particular knowledge as well. Then also very important here today, the security and compliance management of your messaging environment. What kind of features are available and how do you manage it? So you will be tested your skills on this particular areas. And but I designed this particular course combination of a little bit of the exchange server knowledge as well as exchange online knowledge, and combination of these two things will be covered on that particular one. And hope you people follow my phase. And in case you feel that I am going too fast or too slow, let me know. Is it okay? All right. So let me talk about a little bit myself. Okay, this is not me actually. Some picture I put it. I'm Narayana Bandaru. Okay, I'm having around 20 plus years IT industry experience. Worked for various companies in India and as well as overseas. And way back, I implemented Exchange 5.0 in one of the organization here, like a small business server, and also I worked in Exchange environment. And even my skills more on like an application management, IT infrastructure management, cloud management, and as well as the tools management as well, some certain application tools which you need to use it there. And I traveled across the Asia and also US, except Europe. Somehow I missed out. And currently, back in Hyderabad, I, as a consultant, worked with the Zoom. Not working, basically, I'm a consultant as a Zoom and providing training on Microsoft 365 technologies currently. I also provide other consulting services for the various organizations as well as individual trainings and corporate trainings, and other side of the people also I'll do that. And is on the custom training. Okay, my skill set is in more on Windows Server, Exchange, and as well as System Center, SCCM, and Operations Manager, and Microsoft 365, all the programs, and as well as Microsoft Azure. That's my skill set right now. I'm giving the training on those areas. So I got certification from Microsoft, and as well as I'm IT LESFO, and I also have Six Sigma Green Belt and into project management as well. And I'm more interested in giving the training to the people and also into networking solutions. I provide solution to the organizations where they need to how to use it Microsoft 365 implementations. Otherwise, the configuration manager implement, now it is the endpoint configuration manager implementations, like some of the solutions will be given to organization there. That's about myself. And before I talk about a little bit more on what kind of the training, this particular course objectives, which you want to briefly touch upon. And this course will typically covering to start with, though the order which is mentioned here slightly different. I'm not following this particular order, which I need to talk with straight away start with organizational settings. No, And I basically start with the architecture first, and then I'll go to appropriately the topics over there. So let's start with what is the modern messaging infrastructure, which is Microsoft is defined for us to use it. And how do we deploy this particular exchange infrastructure, messaging infrastructure for organizations? So first, we understand the architecture, and then we'll move into deploying this particular environment in our organization there. And then, once who is going to use this mail services? People. So we call it basically here recipients over there. The users which are in messaging environment, we call basically recipients. We have a different recipients. We have a resources, and we have a basically contacts and mail user, mail contacts, and those kind of things. And we need to learn. Okay, basically we try to learn and how do we create and manage those recipients, and as well as resources and groups, and also the public folders. By the way, any of you people know what is public folders? Anybody knows what is public folders in Exchange?
Which everyone can access.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. And we also talk about here, we have a role-based permissions like a RBAC. Okay, why this RBAC will be useful for your organization? Because today we want to talk about least privileges to the users, thereby your messaging environment will be more secure. So in terms of the managing as administrator, you not be like full-fledged administrative privileges, you are not going to give it, and we give respect to roles, which is permissions for the users there. We'll talk about that, how the exchange make use of this particular roles there, and how do we assign as administrator to the roles to the respective users over there. Then we talk about the messaging can be accessed from not only desktops and environment, you can also access from mobile devices. And in case of accessing mobile devices, we look into some of the policies which you want to control it, the messaging access or there, the clients which are connecting to, and we'll talk about that. And then very important is basically mail flow and as well as transport services. So how mail flow will be designed in Microsoft 365 messaging infrastructure environment, and how do we configure this, particularly hybrid scenario, how do we configure it? That again we talk about here in the implement of perform mailbox migrations. Once we migrate the mailboxes, then we're trying to learn that. And the mail flow topics we'll be talking about here and how to troubleshoot as well. And then we basically here we talk about individual, like Exchange server and Exchange online. We'll compare some of the things, what is there here in Exchange server, what is there in Exchange online. Both the things we'll compare it, and then we try to plan implementing hybrid scenario there. So now currently, maybe individual, that we have Microsoft 365 and as well as that is Exchange Online, and we have Exchange Server. So they currently may not have integrated these two systems there. So we're going to integrate by doing hybrid configuration. How do we do that? And we're trying to talk about that. And also once implement hybrid configuration settings, then we perform the mailbox which are there in your on-premise environment, and then we'll move into your Microsoft Exchange Online environment. That's we are going to learn. And as by last, we talk about basically security and compliances features which are available in Microsoft 365 messaging environment. This is the typical course objective for us to for here. So any questions on this? Anyone? Well,
Not so far.
yeah, good. And what I did basically, I divide entire to match this course objectives. I divide into 13 modules, and each module will be talk about one area over there. So first we start about what is the messaging infrastructure. As I said, modern messaging infrastructure, how it will be there. Then we try to learn how to deploy the on-premises Exchange server implement. Here I am talking about basically how to install your on-premises Exchange server to keep it ready over there. So I'm going to show you that you people how to install Exchange Server 2016 in our environment there. So basically I have all this environment is available, but however maybe I want to knock off this, and I'll be going to start. We have a domain controller first, and then I'll be installing the another server is a member server where we're going to install Exchange server over there. So let me typically show you people how to look like. So by the way, we're going to talk about more on like, administrative activities. So in order to start with, okay, we need to go to the web-based. Anyhow, it is browser-based. Let me check on. Okay, all the services are started or not. Okay, okay, some of the services are not started. Maybe you can get started, but these services are not configured. Some of them are not configured actually. So it is not necessary to start these services there. And in order to accessing, okay, we need to give our server address, HTTPS. Okay, everything is totally secure messaging environment, and then server name, and then ECP. You can aliases by CNAME to your DNS if you would like to do that. To instead of giving that server name you want to hide, you can give aliases name there. So my domain is CloudTrain and my login name is Exchange Admin. Then I'll provide my password. Then I need to sign in with those credentials. So we'll be landing into on-premises Exchange Admin center there. So we have a various navigation things there. Okay, recipients menu and the permissions and the compliance management organizations, okay, protections and these areas in our on-premises section server as well. And I have a couple of recipients for here, like mailboxes. In the recipients category, we have a mailboxes, groups, resources, contacts, and shared and migration. And it's slightly different here, the migration. We are not going to talk about here. This migration is basically moving, okay, the user mailboxes from one database to another databases. But we are going to cover about in our course, basically hybrid here. So we'll be connecting to on-premises mailbox to Microsoft 365 mailboxes. We'll come back, I'll show it to you. And how do we do that? And if you go to that particular module, how do we install and configure Exchange Server and our environment? And before that, we talk about what is the modern messaging architecture there. And then we try to look into like how do we test it? Okay, how do we check how it is working there? Okay, so basically, some of the configuration settings we'll be learning both PowerShell commandlets as well as the graphical, the browser based as well. Okay, so you can check that. So then very important topic are the people, the recipients, and we talk about what is the recipients over here in Exchange organization. And we also create and managing those recipients. And then we also have like a groups and managing the groups through recipients through PowerShell as well. So parallelly, I'm going to talk about how do we access the PowerShell both on premises and as well as Exchange Online. For example, maybe you can look into the cloud environment, Microsoft 365 environment, Exchange Online. So if you look into like, go to Office, you will go to our Office here, and I go to my admin center. And I'll go to my Exchange Online there. This already account is created here. Now Microsoft has made new changes in new Exchange Admin Center. That is clearly here the Exchange Admin Center is a new Exchange Admin Center. It is a new Exchange Admin Center here. It is in line with our admin center, like Microsoft 365 Admin Center, where you're creating users. We have a dashboard and we have a cards and those those kind of like equivalent to this. Okay, new admin center was designed. But if you people still some more things are still in classic admin center. If you would like to use that, you can click on here, the classic admin center. And if you clearly notice that this classic admin center, you've seen just now, okay, recipients, permissions, compliance management, organization, everything similar to our on-premises Exchange admin center model. And if you let me go to here, the server management. So if you notice that here, Exchange admin center, same thing, recipients, permissions, and everything. But there are, okay, one major difference is here. If you people clearly notice that, like Exchange Online, you have like recipients permissions. There is one thing is missing, okay, from here in Exchange Online. In the navigation menu. Anyone can find out? Okay. So if you clearly observe, one thing is basically here we have a servers in on-premises Exchange environment. In Exchange Online, we are not managing any servers. Okay, mailboxes and everything will be created automatically. The servers and everything already in the backend, which is created by the cloud banners. Okay, CSP will take care of it. We don't need to worry about that. Like that, okay, will be in case of on-premise environment, you will be responsible for your servers and including managing the mailbox databases and everything. But here it will be cloud service provider will take care of, like in case of our case, Microsoft 365, that is Exchange Online. So we don't need to, don't have any that tab, like servers tab is not there, okay, over here. Otherwise, you can see recipients. If you click on recipients, we have mailbox groups and everything. And if you go to again, the admin center here, and if you click on recipients, now Microsoft slightly changed it. The old legacy, everything look like the same, okay, but if you go to new Exchange admin center and if you go to mailboxes instead of recipients, in the recipients category mailboxes, and if you see there is a difference over here, and if you clearly, okay, note there is no, okay, plus button, there is no plus button to add a mailbox, user mailboxes, okay, and you can only add, okay, shared mailboxes over here. But okay, you can see here recipient types of user mailboxes and as well as, okay, shared mailboxes available for you. So then how the user mailbox will be created. So some of these things, okay, we'll discuss, and then, okay, we'll talk about, okay, the second module and the recipients, and we try to you know uh, creating the mailboxes both on premises and as well as Exchange Online, and then through PowerShell as well. Then we'll go to 33rd module, that is public folders. What is public folders? How it will be used for public folders in Exchange environment, and how will helpful for us, and how do we create, okay, those public folders. And we also have a public folders with mail enabled public folders. Normally, the public folders will be without any mail, okay, services, but you would like to post a message through that particular folders, then you can enable the mail enabled. Straight away you want to, okay, send through messages, then you can enable mail enabled, okay, public folders as well. So how do we, very simple configuration, okay, we'll talk about that, and some of the troubleshooting related particularly on-premise environment. Public folders, okay, troubleshooting, you not be much there in the except migration cases, otherwise not much in the Exchange Online over there. So then third module we'll talk about public folders, and then fourth module we'll talk about some of the organizational settings and managing authentication, like a passwords mechanisms which we have it, and again some of the organizational mechanism settings. We learned already some of the things here itself, but we try to, okay, some more things, organizational settings in module number 4. Then we'll go to module number 5, okay, where we talk about mobile devices management, what kind of policies you can create it there, and also, okay, how you basically Outlook, okay, mobile clients configuration settings which you can control through policies which you can set there. And that is the fifth module we'll be talking about it. And then we'll move into module number 6. In the module number 6, we talk about what is the transport services which are there in Microsoft 365. And then how do we configure some of the transport settings, we can set it. And also we talk about, okay, rules, which is actually mail flow rules, which I talk about here. And then we also discussed about connectors here. Okay, we have a um, in case of on-premises, okay, the received connectors automatically created for us, but in order to send outside connectors, like, we have a connectors is available for you. We need to create that actually. But inside a Exchange organization, we don't need to create any intranet kind of scenario. We don't need to create any connectors. Automatically, mail flow take care of it, sending message, receive messages. But you would like to send message to external things, then we need to provide a connectors over there. So, but in case of Microsoft 365, you don't need that. Okay, everything created available for you. However, you need to have a hybrid scenario, or otherwise, okay, you would like to have a connectors required in case of your partner organizations you would like to connect, or your group companies you would like to connect it. So we'll be configuring connectors there. We'll talk about, okay, those connectors in this particular, okay, managing, okay, mail flow scenario over there. And then we talk about how do you monitor this mail flow, and also some of the troubleshooting and with the log files, particularly in on-premise environment. And as well as, okay, we have a message trace. The tool is available for us to find out is successful delivered or okay, failed messages are in the queue, okay, those kind of things. How do we do that? There's a main thing is this particular course, like apart from that architecture and mail flow, this is basically hybrid. So we're going to learn your on-premises environment and as well as the cloud environment. And how do we basically plan for your hybrid configurations? What are the things okay, we need to consider? So once okay, those the prerequisites and those information is gathered, then we try to do the preparing for hybrid okay, scenario. One of the steps we need to do that, your Azure AD synchronization to hybrid environment there. Particularly for the mail services as well. We need to do okay, parameters, we need to enable this to have this hybrid okay, settings over there. We'll talk about that. We'll be implementing that particular services by configuring those settings there. So we need to have in our environment, okay, you have one more server called AD001, that is Azure AD Connect server, which is we implemented there. So thereby you can configure hybrid settings there. So once okay, you completed the step, then we try to understand what is the hybrid environment, implementing hybrid okay, environment. And one of the things okay, we need to configure to hybrid, we need to configure hybrid agent. Okay, that is we call it using one of the program called HCW, so hybrid configuration wizard, and configuring those hybrid configurations. And we have a two type of settings over here, and some of you may be aware, that's fine. If not, we have a two settings. One of the express settings, another is basically full settings over there. Or otherwise, you can say sometimes is basically classic now, hybrid classic and hybrid full there. Okay, the modern and environment there. So we'll be okay look into those settings and we'll configuring our environment there. Once okay, you configure there, that I already configured here. One of my other okay, batch which I done in this particular system. And if I go to my, this should be done in on-premises environment. So this is what okay, we're doing it, a hybrid okay, configuration wizard. If you double click on this and we try to okay, run here. So we're going to do this actually. I'll show it to you practically what are the parameters okay, we'll be doing it. Once okay, you've done that, then okay, you can basically typically you can access even Office 365 itself from here itself. Okay, you can once okay configure hybrid here, and this one you can also click on here, and maybe this time it may go to licenses related information, but actually you can manage even Office 365 environment as well. Okay, so it both can be configured. So if you, this is your on-premise environment, this tab, and this is your Office 365 environment, but it's a classic admin center there. So if you go to recipients here, and you will be seeing the mailboxes, user mailboxes, and shared mailbox will be separate and in the classic admin. But a new environment, the shared mailbox and user mailbox will be one single location. That's a major difference there, right? So we'll be looking into here. See, I enabled here. So if you click on Enterprise tab, I'll be looking into my on-premises Exchange mailbox related information. And if I click on Office 365, I look into my Microsoft 365, the user mailboxes I'll be seeing here. So that will be possible after implementing hybrid over there. Then what next step we do that we talk about basically performing migrations, and we're doing like an Exchange on-premises mailboxes to Microsoft 365 environment. For that use managing the migration batches, we'll be creating it. But we also talk about other migration methods which are Microsoft 365 supports. That is cutover migration, staged migration, and PST imports, and IMAP and G Suite migrations, and as well as remote migrations in doing it with from Exchange Server 2016 to and Microsoft 365 Exchange Online. And we may be having some issues with the mailbox migration issues, and we'll be discussing okay, the what is the kind of issues we'll be getting on this particular one. So basically, I already implemented here the migration already done. And if you go to my on-premise environment, if you go to my on-premises, and if you look at the some of the mailbox like Exchange user 1, U2, and U3, and their mailboxes in Microsoft 365 environment. That's the reason it say Office 365 over there. And Exchange admin and Narayana Bandaru is in my local server itself still. These users are not okay migrated. So once actually the migration is completed, and you can also see the mailboxes. If I go to my Outlook, and it'll also give me like I did like a batch by batch, and it will give me like a migration batch of migration U1 and U2, two users. I successfully completed here as completed, and you can assign now license to access those mailboxes as well. And you can also have that mailbox reports for you. And if you can download that particular report, maybe you can do preview quickly from here itself. And how many what is the mail ID of that particular user, and what is the current status, is completed or completed with error, or maybe synced, whatever it may be, how many items is migrated, and any failed migrations, which is error messages, any error or any failed which is not could be migrated, that messages over there. And again, data consistency, which is after migration, is a any issues, it may be listed here. Otherwise, is a perfect. The migration successfully completed without any problem. So you can get even that report. So I'll show it to you. How do we do that? Okay, once performance migrate that particular user over there. Like we did couple of migrations of the users over there. And so once that is completed, that particular activity. Now, basically, the earlier user mailbox in the local server, now the mailbox is in the cloud. So because of that, if I go to that particular user, maybe I can go to a new private window and then say www and office.com, and I say exch u1 at the rate cloudtrain.in. That is my on-premises domain. And then sign in here and click on S. Now, if I go to this user Outlook, so everybody can hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, good. Maybe you can check Vikram, maybe your side, any low networking. So hope you are not accessing from mobile. Yeah. So click on that Outlook. And this user mailbox is in now Exchange Online. Okay. Earlier it was these mailboxes, like the messages are from actually on-premise environment, that is 6th and 7th, and later that migration will be completed. Testing after migration one, but again one of the message not delivered because that time other mailbox is not migrated there, because that's there in still on-premise environment. So this is what you can test it. Once the migration completed, you can send messages, receive messages, external world, and you can compare that mail messages as well. So once the migration is topic is completed there, then we talk about role-based administration, what kind of roles we can have it, and how do you manage that. And then we'll move into messaging, security over there. So earlier, if you look at the new Exchange Admin Center, if you go to the new Exchange Admin Center in Microsoft 365, so you don't have any protection tab, and the compliance tab is not is totally moved from here. So now these things are not part of here, and this new the security management and compliance management of messaging, now basically Microsoft have a unified architecture. That means the security across the application, not only messaging, the security across the SharePoint services, OneDrive services, Microsoft Teams services, they unified that. So since they unified these services, Microsoft Microsoft, all these things moved into Microsoft 365 Security Center. So if you go to Microsoft Security Center, if you go there, and now by default the Security Center you click on, it will be Security and Compliances Legacy Security and Compliance Center. My recommendation for you, you people start using a new security center rather than security and compliance center. And this is the security and compliance center, Office 365 security and compliance center. If you look at the URL, it is a protection.office.com. But Microsoft has created a new security center for us, and you can click on from here itself, Microsoft 365 security center. And so it is in line with our admin center, like a dashboard and those kind of things, like a Microsoft 365 security center that is now a Defender. And now you can see the email and collaboration. Okay, Microsoft has a Defender solutions now. It has a 4 solutions. Okay, one is Microsoft 365 Defender, Microsoft Defender for Office 365, Microsoft Defender for Identity, and Microsoft Defender for um, endpoint, Microsoft Defender for endpoint, and then cloud app security. The 4 solutions is a single product Microsoft is giving to us. And Microsoft messaging, particularly messaging purpose, we have email and collaboration. That's where Microsoft Defender for Office 365, which is implemented over here. So particularly you need to, okay, people earlier on particularly on-premise environment, the people used to use a lot of third-party solutions to protecting for their messaging environment for anti-malware and anti-spam and safe attachment and safe links and those kind of scenario. Now you don't need to do that. So Microsoft Exchange Online has that capabilities, and it is already available. Part of that Microsoft 365 Defender is available for us, and you can make use of that. So where you'll put those things here. Okay, if you click on policies and rules, and Microsoft added a lot of capabilities now, recently. And if you go to particularly like a threat policies, okay, what kind of threats you will be getting it? How do you mitigate those threats as well? So I'll be addressing some of these things. What is a JAP and those kind of things? And Microsoft also giving like for us to templated policies you would like to implement. You have some, basically new to these kind of things. Then you would like to do implement a security or messaging environment. Microsoft already giving you preset security policies for us, and it is up to us. Okay, we want to choose like a standard protection you want it, otherwise you want to have a SIT protections, and by default is disabled. And if you are interested which one you want to implement there, okay, like now it is disabled. Okay, we need to enable according to your requirement there. And then if you go to furthermore threat policies, if you go, and there is a policies for your rules. Okay, so it is protecting your messaging environment. Actually it's not only messaging environment, it is also protecting your other environments as well. So we have a three anti category. So you're protecting your messaging environment from anti phishing, and as well as anti spam, and as well as anti malware. So Microsoft already has the default policies for us. For example, you click on anti-phishing, and Microsoft created as a default policy over here. Office 365 anti-phishing policy, it is already created and it's always on, is available for you. But however, if you would like to modify this default policy, click on this particular policy, and you can see what is the policy settings and everything. And you would like to modify, you can do that. But my recommendation, don't leave it, don't configure default policy, leave it the default policy. And you would like to create your own policy, you can create a policy over there by clicking on create here, and then you can configure according to your requirement. So we'll be talking about all these things in this particular course, and how do you configure and how do you modify these settings. Some, for example, impersonation safety tips, you want to make it on, and what happened to the quarantine messages, which one you can do that, and where it is supposed to be configured that. So some of the configuration about the anti phishing policies, and also at the same time you will going to talk about anti spam policies, and as well as malware policies. And apart from that, we have a two areas otherwise safe, and normally you can do from your Exchange certain things like there. Okay, so the safe, the mail flow rules, you can configure it, but here you can also have configuration some of the things from safe attachments and safe links over there. And right now there's a default global settings available for you, you can click on. Otherwise, if you want to configure additional settings, policies, you can do so from here itself as well. So you can set the policies there. So we'll talk about that, how do we create those policies. And then we go back here, and let me cancel this particular policies, threat policies. Then go down here, we have a rules, we'll talk about rules as well. And then some other reports, you want to get settings, like you can check that. And you can also generate various alerts messages as well. And those, if you go to again policies and rules, and we have a alert policies there. So someone who created like elevation of privileges and those kind of things, or otherwise suspicious email sending pattern detected, uh, those kind of things are happening it. So you can generate alert like email notification for you people. So by default, these things are already configured for you. And apart from that, you would like to have a certain policy you would like to define. Yes, you can define those things there. So once you create a policy, alert policies here, where you can see those alerts. One is you go to notified to your email ID. For example, if I go to I configured here some of the policies there. And if I go to my Outlook, and if I say as administrator, and I can see the low severity alert here, Office 365 alert, elevation of Exchange admin privileges. And who is done that? So basically this is the user, and modified or maybe given a someone permission to user to become like Exchange administrator over there. So if you would like to more information, you can click on view alert details and you can get that. And if you have a little bit advanced, like I configured like PIM, then if I can see clearly there, and let me show that. Sorry. Okay. So if you a little bit configure of this something is missing here. Let me go to my deleted items. Okay. Give me a minute. Yeah. I think it went to other category. And if you see that this message, like if you configure the outside PM, and it will also give you the settings for here. So Microsoft 365 Cloud IT Service, there's a user which is assigned to user, this particular user made as a Exchange administrator over there. At what date and time? So June 14, 2021. Those activities you can get that from. So there's only thing is we need to configure this particular policies. Once you configure those policies, you can know that what this activities happened there. We call it as basically auditing a kind of scenario there, right? So we'll talk about those things, threat policies and rules, and again configuring outbound spam as well as monitoring quarantined items. How do we do that? So the last module, we're going to cover about the compliances category. In the compliance category, we'll talk about what is auditing first of all. So what is auditing capabilities are available in Microsoft 365 Exchange services in the both online and as well as your on-premises environment. And then we also talk about what is online archiving, and also we talk about retention policies and configuring that. And we also talk about basically e-discovery and data loss prevention policies, which are doing it. Now, all these things, which is now available again, if you go to your on-premises Exchange, and if you go to admin center, it is under part of compliance management. And if you go to compliance management, so is a new compliance center. And if you start with from the information governance over here, and in the governance, we have a label policies, retention labels, which you can use it like 7 years required, 1 year delete, or 1 year archive, and those kind of things. So we need to create a policies first, and then we need to publish these policies to visible for the users to use it. And you can also create a retention policies, and you can also do like importing your PST files. That's what I'm talking about, like migrating your data from your mail data from your on-premises to your Microsoft 365 environment. So you can also import those data or PST files, particularly importing your PST files. And by default, normal administrator, this will not be visible for you. Like a new import jobs will not be visible, normal administrator users. So we need to give the privileges to import and export activities. So then only you can see that particular user. So this user has that privileges. Because of that, you can do that. Let me show you something like, if I go to new private window, just now, I think I need to make one of the user Exchange administrator. Let me set that first. So go to active users. So again, I'll making Bhanu as a role will be like Exchange administrator here. Go to Exchange administrator and then save changes. So now is Exchange administrator, role administrator. So if I go to new private window and try to log in as his account, office.com. Let me sign out as this user. And then click on sign in here. Password, okay, this particular user. So, okay. So basically we have a policy to protecting Exchange administrator, role administrator to have multi-factor authentication done automatically over there. I'll get a code. So we have a 429149. And if you go to next, and I can use Authenticator app, otherwise I want to have a different method, I can choose email and then confirm. And then I provide my email and then click on next. So I'll be receiving code to my Gmail account. So I'll go to my Gmail. So I'll got a code, okay, from my Gmail account, that is 123334, and then click on next here. So first of all, we're registering those multi-factor authentication here. And now I can see my admin center. I can see admin center over here. And if you click on admin center, so I'll be seeing users, groups, and everything, but I won't be seeing additional admin centers like SharePoint admin and security and compliance. Okay, those some of those things I'm not be visible for me there. And if I go to maybe I can click on all admin centers, I can see only Exchange over there, and you click on Exchange. And here I will go to maybe okay, I want to see actually security compliance center. They need to go. Okay, so let me go to classic admin center. But it is giving some changes here. Let me quickly change the role of the user here. So I assigned other user also same thing. Let me see other global administrators which I am having it. Okay, I have Exchange admin as a global admin there. So let me go to this one, log on, log out as a Bonu here. Say www.office.com. So I want to log in as Exchange admin at the rate cloudtrain.in and then sign in. And if I go to admin center, is also global admin. Okay, this particular user. Now, what I'm trying to show here, okay, in this particular user, okay, go to compliance management. Is also global administrator. You can see all the activities. But if you go to compliance management and then go to um, uh, uh, data governance, okay, basically information governance, okay, over here. And if you go to import services, and you will be getting error like this. To create this import jobs, you must have a assigned, okay, that particular role assignments to be done. So then only you can see here additional button, okay, new import jobs will be available for you. So this is basically we're going to, that's what I'm talking about here. So if you look at okay, this particular user information governance, and you can also create like a new import jobs for here. Okay, that's what you can see that though it's a global administrator, but you cannot do certain activities over here, particularly in security compliance management. Okay, we need to give the users to appropriate permissions to access certain data there. And we also talk about here, okay, basically the information protection here. Okay, how do we protect our information by creating the labels? I'm not created any labels, but you can create a labels here, and you can give that labels to your messaging environment there. So, however, okay, if you look at by default your messaging environment, if you go to your Outlook, and you can see you compose a new message, and we have additional tab called like a protection is encrypt button is available for you. And this will give you, if you click on encrypt button, you have can see that here the permissions related information as well. Okay, you can say like confidential all employees and do not forward encrypt highly confidential. Okay, these kind of tabs you can put, like suppose I put confidential all employees, see the tag here, and I try to, okay, I send a message to outside my company, the mail ID. People may receive the message, but they cannot view the message over there. So it will be automatically protected. It automatically encrypted over there. It can be open the message only by see the code. Okay, code will be generated. Once a code is generated, maybe they can see that. So it is protected by putting okay these kind of okay labels there. So it is already there by default in here. However, okay, you would like to create in information protection, and you would like to create additional labels. So your own labels you would like to create, and this label would like to overwrite the current labels. Then you can create a labels and then publish labels. You can do that. So we'll talk about that. How do we okay, manage that? And also we'll be talking about okay, auditing capabilities which are available, and who created, who is okay, done all kind of like if you click on okay, activities and ton okay, n number of activities, you can check on that particular categories. You can check, for example, you talk about like who uploaded file, renamed file, restored file in the file activity category. And but prior to that, there is one thing, okay, we need to do that. Okay, once you've done that, you can also get all these info like a SharePoint services in terms of a exchange related like a sharing and accessing related information. And if you scroll down like a synchronized activities, site permissions, again SharePoint services, like that we have a lot of okay, things you can okay, find out, and you can generate the reports as a over here. Like for maybe as a okay, interested for us here, Exchange related ones. So Exchange mailbox activities and creating the mailbox items, copied message to another folder. Okay, user sign into mailbox, access the mailbox items. Okay, those kind of. So somebody says that I'm not accessing this particular one, but you would like to try to find out. Okay, auditing. If you enable auditing, what you can. Okay, you can get this information as well. So how do we okay do okay these kind of information here? So we'll spend some time about auditing all these. Not all the things. Okay, what is related to messaging, we talk about auditing, and we talk about content search, and we're talking about basically e-discovery. And we have e-discovery, two things are there. One is core e-discovery, core e-discovery, and we have advanced e-discovery as well. So we try to know okay the difference between okay these two. And in advanced discovery, you have some additional like we call it as litigation, what you call arbitrators and those kind of things. You can add okay those people as well. Those people can be even third party organization people, those who are basically helping your organization to auditors, or maybe okay legal holders, or maybe okay those kind of people. So you can give those email IDs configurations in advance there, but in the core you cannot do that. So these people get the data, and you can check the data validations, other things they can set that here. So some of these things will be covered okay, in this particular training program. Okay, total we have a 13 modules, and these 13 modules will be daily 1.5 hours to 2 hours will be okay, covered, and will be provided. This particular okay, PowerPoint presentation material will be provided to those who are registered okay, users, and every day we record the sessions, and these recorded sessions will be my Zoom admin will send this to your drive. So given a permission to you people, so you can download okay those videos and you can use it there. And that is some of the things okay I would like to highlight okay, the today's session. And I'll stop the session today. You people have any questions? Is open for you.
If I need to install Exchange on premise,
Okay.
how, are you going to show all those techniques tomorrow on the class, or?
Yeah, I'll be going to showing that. And if you want to do it yourself, then you have a system with at least 16 GB RAM.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay, you can I'll tell you the two VMs you can create. One is like a domain controller, another is basically another member server, which is minimum 8 GB RAM.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll tell you like where you can download requirement files and install those things. I'll demonstrate it my side, and as well
Okay.
as if you can, in case of you stuck somewhere, and I'm always available for you to help you to troubleshoot those problems as well. And if you're interested, okay, maybe I recommend if you have a Azure, and you can also implement the same solution instead of on premises, you can implement even Azure as well.
Oh, okay. I don't have an Azure account. So if because I haven't done Office 365
Okay.
yet, so I'm going to do after this once this is finished. It, does it make any difference if I don't have that skill to understand Exchange?
Is my recommendation do first Office 365, enabling managing Microsoft, then do this particular code. That will be helpful for you.
But now it's very difficult based on time and
Oh, that's I
jobs.
know I can understand.
Mm,
Okay. Basically, you have some experience on that, or at least you have Windows Server knowledge.
yeah, to some extent, little bit.
Okay, then you can manage it. And if you have any problem, let me know. I'll help you on that. No problem.
Okay, so if we have to come back to you, what are the process? Like if you
Uh,
need to talk to, is it only the class or do you have emails to?
yeah, you can have it this year. I have you can ping it to me on WhatsApp. Okay, this number is on WhatsApp, and
Mm-hmm.
I have email also. This is the email.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe I'm busy with some other classes because my 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I have other class enabling and managing Microsoft 365. At that time, I'm not be responding your messages or whatever it may be. Otherwise, I'm available for my Indian time 2 to 4 and 6 to 8.
Okay. All right. No. My question is, what do we
You
have?
can, yeah,
Go
go
on.
ahead.
These classes are very late to me, like midnight. You know,
Okay.
so it's very difficult. Um, based on time zone. like 5-6 hours difference.
Yeah.
So I may contact you in WhatsApp, yeah, or email. That's okay. Once we start doing from tomorrow, then
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, you can connect me. So any other people, any other questions?
quick one on the Zoom app. It says we have access to resources, study materials, and how do I get those access to?
No, actually, my material as a consultant to training program, my material is not there in those apps in the Zoom.
Oh, okay. So
So yeah, those okay. Zoom app is basically only Zoom provided training programs only. In the sense, okay, Zoom own programs like MCSC, Linux, and cyber security, and those materials available. This material is not available there. So I'll be sending through your email. I'll get the email IDs from my Zoom admin, and then I'll forward this message to this material to you people.
okay. All right.
Fine.
Great.
Okay. Then thank you so much and for attending the session, today's session. And you people can contact me on this number. Those who are already registered, okay, thank you so much. And those are not registered, and I recommend to register okay, by tomorrow. Okay, thereby sometimes my admin may change the password. So, but most likely tomorrow also available the session for you people to watch. And otherwise, I recommend you to people to register because it will go for the phase by manner there.
Sorry, register means what about what registrations? Is it
So
different than this one?
yeah, okay. Have you paid the
Yes.
okay? So then it is not required. Okay, so that means you are already registered.
Oh, okay. So this is most like a demo class.
Yeah, this is a demo class. Today's class is like a demo class. Yes.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that's the okay. Makes sense because
Uh,
I wasn't told it's a demo class. I was told that it's the first lecture. But
is also like the give you see basically okay the people who want to join what I'm going to cover that's what I want to give the first class.
yeah,
Uh, then tomorrow onwards we'll go into the module number 1 and continue the session there.
perfect. How long is this course? Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks program, yeah, Monday to Friday, but we have like a number of topics or more, so
Hmm.
maybe we'll be have a session on Saturday as well.
Okay. Is it if I request for any classes in early hours, is that possible?
Currently is not possible because my schedule is slightly tight,
Hmm.
so this is the time slot I reserved for the mail services. It is not possible.
Oh, no, not this one. I mean any others, not this one, but other classes.
Other classes depend on the availability. We can do that. Is not a problem.
Okay.
You let me know, then we plan for scheduling okay those programs on early time which you want to do that.
All right. Perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Narayana. Are you able
Yeah,
to hear me?
yeah, yes.
Uh, Sorry, I joined very lately due to I
Okay,
have some other meetings. I'm joining from USA.
okay.
Yeah, I would like to know more details about this things. No, how long? 2 weeks, according to I have seen that
Website, you
in
went to the
Zoom.
website? Yeah,
Yeah, I went through website and I saw 2 weeks course. It said.
yeah, correct.
Uh, what the things you're going to cover? What is the difference between Office 365 and this Exchange 365?
Is not Exchange 365. Okay, so you already working on Microsoft 365 environment?
Not much, just involving not much, frankly.
Okay, so actually Microsoft
Only 1-2%
360.
only I can say, but 2%.
Okay, okay. So actually Microsoft 365 is a bundle of services. Okay,
Okay,
is a productivity tools. One of the service is basically Exchange online service. That's a mail services.
okay,
So in this particular course, we're talking about focusing on only mail services, both on-premises environment and Microsoft 365 Exchange Online services. And at the same time, we'll be using hybrid scenario.
Okay.
That's what today's environment, most of the cases.
Okay.
So more focusing on the messaging in infrastructure and as well as messaging services in this particular course.
Okay.
So Microsoft 365 is not only this particular series, other services as well, like SharePoint Online services, Microsoft Teams services, and as well as a lot of applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and all those applications as well.
Okay.
Right?
Got it. One more thing, no?
Yeah.
I have seen two courses you are telling to Ajay.
Yeah.
Some
Yes. Office 365.
Office 365 and Exchange.
Yeah, correct.
Online. Office 365 covers only Outlook services and Office means applications, online applications. Those things, according to my.
No, if you go to maybe you ask my Zoom admin to provide the video, today's recorded video, morning session, 11
Okay.
a.m. batch, and they will send it to you. So go through that video, then it will give you more insights on what is Microsoft 365 I'm talking about. And if possible, you can join tomorrow as well, 11 a.m. My 11 a.m. IST. Maybe I don't know what time for you.
No, it's 1:30 for me. Night. I can't.
Night,
join.
so it is not possible. Sorry,
Not
then.
possible.
So maybe next batch is 8 p.m. the same time.
Okay, when it's going to start?
That is 30th 30th July. Sorry, 30th June.
30th June. Okay.
Yeah, this is the batch. Okay, June 30th, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST.
Okay.
So you can join that particular program.
Can you? Is it possible to send this recording for me because I have joined very late?
Yeah. Okay, my people. Maybe I have actually one form, but you can ask my Zoom admin. Okay, they will be sending the recorded video for you, like a priya@zoomgroup.com. Okay, send email to her. So she will be sending the video recording today video record session to you people.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions from any other people? Okay. So then thank you so much, and we'll talk to you all tomorrow morning. Okay, sorry. So tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye.